Okay, here we are again. I've got a couple of things I would like to announce through this media, just so we can kind of stay abreast of everything and let everybody know what we're doing. As of Sunday, the church will be temporarily suspending all of our various support groups. And we know how important it is to have a face-to-face meeting and through the process of recovery. But groups are finding other ways of doing this, going online like we are doing as a church and so on. But we just feel like we don't want to have the risk of group meetings, and we want to comply with the rules that have been laid out, or the suggestions that have been laid out. We think that's very important. So we're suspending all groups beginning Sunday. I would encourage you, those of you that are involved in our ministry particularly, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you don't know how to do that, if you will email the office, and I'll put the email link on the screen here. Just email the office and somebody will help you. I or Audrey or somebody will help you do that. It's very simple. But every time we post something, then you'll be notified. You'll be notified by email that's coming through, and there's going to be a number of new things on YouTube. So you probably won't want to miss anything that we're going to do. If you're not on our email list, I would encourage you to sign up for that as well. Again, email the church office and let us know you want to be on that, because we'll be sending out regular updates as we have. And we're going to try to be careful about sending out too many things. We don't want to just oversaturate everybody with messages. But this will be a helpful way to communicate with all of you in this temporary closure that we're going through. And finally, I'd like to just say, if you're involved in our ministry and you need some help in some way, getting groceries, or something needs to be done that you're just not able to get out and do, if going out is put you at risk, then let us know. We have several people that are willing to help, and so let us help out in any way we can. That's what churches do. Okay, what I'm doing in this series, which I just started, is I'm drawing from lessons from my book, Beams of Light. And this is a book I put together from messages that I include on the backs of our Sunday morning programs when we have church services. And I took several years and compiled them and put them into this book. So I'm going through this and I'm looking for messages that I think are appropriate for this time. And the one I found today I thought was very appropriate, and I'm adapting these. So actually I have it on my computer, and I'm going to read the messages. I don't normally like to do this, but I want to read it just because it's easier than trying to put it on my teleprompter and all the things that involves. So I'm just going to do this and hope you can get the benefit of it. But the lesson that I was wanting to share with you today is called The Gift of Uncertainty. And it starts out by quoting Emerson. People wish to be settled. Only as far as they are unsettled is there any hope for them. Well, there's probably a lot of hope for all of us now, isn't there? Because we're all pretty much unsettled. This is a new thing that we've never had to do before. So we're doing it. People wish to be settled. Only as far as they are unsettled is there any hope for them. I've always resonated with these words of Emerson. For me, they stir something that rings true at the soul level. In my public addresses, I speak often of the universal desire for freedom, shared by all expressions of life, including us. Freedom from some level of bondage is frequently on our mind, probably because we wish to be settled. And it so often leads us to feelings of being trapped in life's conditions. The English political and military leader, Oliver Cromwell, went so far to say, "A man never rises so high as when he knows not whither he is going." In another one of my books, A Practical Guide to Meditation and Prayer, I share an interpretation of the Cain and Abel story, which beautifully addresses this dynamic. Cain, you may recall, was a tiller of the soil, a farmer. Abel, his brother, was a shepherd. The farmer settles into a single plot of land, while the shepherd leads a nomadic life. We might think of Cain as that part of us that wishes to be settled, and Abel as that part that requires freedom to move about. The day comes when both brothers bring offerings to the Lord. Cain, his first fruits of the land. Abel, the firstlings of his flock. What's curious about this is the Lord rejects Cain's gift, but accepts Abel's. So taking the story literally, this rejection of Cain's offering is confusing. From a spiritual point of view, however, we see that the Lord, or the law of life and expansion, favors the shepherd mindset that seeks no boundaries, that is not settled into a view of life surrounded by the fences of preconception. Cain's slaying Abel represents our own attempts to address our desire for freedom by settling into the attainment of some external acquisition, a fenced plot. That this is not possible is depicted in the Lord banishing Cain from the land of, or to the land of Nod, which in Hebrew means wandering. Cain himself is uprooted from his life as a settled farmer and forced to become a nomad. In other words, we cannot suppress our inherent desire for freedom, because freedom is our natural spiritual state. So we're going through a season of uncertainty. Let's know that we're in a position to reevaluate the mental and emotional boundaries we placed around ourselves. Let's think of this situation as a gift, or the gift of uncertainty, a soul-searching opportunity to observe patterns of thought and choice-making that serve to confine rather than free us to live the life we desire. Some very simple ideas, but I think they are relevant to the time we're going through. We're certainly being unsettled by all of this, aren't we? And so we're looking to our spiritual foundation for ways to experience greater freedom.